My friends, let me tell you a story. There was once a boy, full of dreams, full of talent, full of possibilities. But he had one enemy, not poverty, not failure, not rejection. His enemy was laziness. Every morning, his alarm rang, and he said, 5 more minutes. Those 5 minutes became hours. Those hours became wasted days. And slowly, his life became a graveyard of unfinished goals, broken promises, and I'll do it tomorrow. But here's the tragedy. Tomorrow never came. One day, he looked back and realized years had slipped from his hands like sand. His friends had moved forward. His dreams had been stolen, not by someone else, but by himself. You see, time is the most expensive currency in this world. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose love and find it again. But once time leaves you, it never returns. Laziness is not just a bad habit, it is silent suicide. It doesn't kill you in a moment. It kills your future, your confidence, your soul, bit by bit, every single day. So I ask you today, how long will you let laziness chain you down? How many dreams will you bury in the graveyard of excuses? The clock is ticking. Right now, this very second, you are losing time. Don't wait for a tragedy to wake you up. Don't wait until it's too late. Stand up, break the chains, move, start, do. Because every moment you waste is a moment you steal from your future self. The boy in the story? He exists in all of us. But whether he remains lazy or whether he transforms into greatness, that decision is yours. Value your time, because once it's gone forever. The story of that boy begins with something that feels so small, so harmless, so normal, that almost everyone listening can relate to it. His alarm would ring in the morning, and instead of jumping out of bed, he would whisper to himself, just 5 more minutes. And those 5 minutes felt like nothing, just a little gift to himself, just a tiny delay. But in reality, those 5 minutes were the beginning of a habit that was eating him alive. What he didn't understand was that life is made of these small choices, these little decisions that stack up. Every time he hit snooze, he wasn't just delaying the start of his day, he was teaching his mind to compromise with laziness. He was giving permission to weakness, and he was proving to himself that his comfort mattered more than his commitment. That small act of postponing the day slowly shaped his character. He didn't know it then, but every morning he was practicing failure. When you wake up and your first action is delay, your entire day becomes built on delay. You move slower, you think slower, you excuse yourself more, and you train your brain that later is an acceptable answer. That boy had dreams, he had vision, he wanted to build a future, but dreams don't survive in the environment of delay. Dreams require urgency, they require fire, they require a spirit that says now or never. But his habit of 5 more minutes turned into wasted hours, and hours into wasted days, and those days into wasted years. The dangerous thing about laziness is that it doesn't show its impact immediately. You don't feel the loss right away. On that day, when he slept longer, nothing seemed broken, but in reality, something inside him was breaking, silently, slowly, without alarm. And this is the trap that so many people fall into. You don't see laziness as an enemy because it wears the mask of comfort. It doesn't come to you with the pain, it comes to you with a pillow. It doesn't slap you across the face. It whispers sweetly, just rest, you deserve it. And you believe it, you follow it, you let it in, until one day you wake up and realize that comfort has become your cage. That boy didn't realize that the very thing he thought was saving him, sleeping longer, resting more, was actually stealing everything from him. His opportunities slipped by, his moments to grow slipped by, his chance to take risks and build his story slipped by, all while he was busy buying 5 more minutes. People around him didn't wait. The world didn't pause for him. His friends woke up, they moved, they built, they tried, they failed, they tried again, and they kept moving. While he was asleep, others were awake, and the world rewards those who show up. He started noticing that everyone around him was moving forward, and he was still stuck at the beginning line, holding on to excuses, holding on to comfort, holding on to a pillow that had become heavier than any burden. The truth about laziness is not that it makes you relax, it makes you weak. It takes away your discipline, your confidence, your sense of urgency, and it leaves you hollow. And the worst part? It leaves you blaming yourself because deep down you know you could have done more, you could have been more, but you chose less. This boy's story is not unique. This is the story of millions, maybe even the story of the person listening right now. That moment of just 5 minutes is not harmless. It is dangerous because it is not about 5 minutes. It is about the mindset that chooses delay over action, comfort over growth, weakness over strength. That tiny decision multiplies every single day until one day you look in the mirror and realize the person staring back at you is not the person you dreamed of becoming, but the person you allowed laziness to eat. The tragedy of this boy's life was not that he was lazy one day or that he delayed one task. The tragedy was that he never understood the real cost of time. He thought time was unlimited. He thought there would always be tomorrow. He thought life would wait for him until he was ready. But time is the most ruthless teacher you will ever meet. It does not pause. It does not slow down. It does not wait for your excuses. It moves on. And once it's gone, it will never return. The boy realized this too late. He woke up one morning and found that years had passed, the same years he thought were his to waste, the same years he thought were his to play with, were now gone forever, leaving him with nothing but regret. He wanted to rewind the clock. He wanted to go back and live those wasted hours with urgency, but time is merciless. It does not allow you to replay the game. It only allows you to look back and see what you lost. And that pain, that silent scream of realizing you cannot buy back even one wasted moment, is heavier than any suffering in this world. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose love and find it again. You can fail and recover, but when you lose time, you lose a piece of your life. You lose a piece of yourself. You lose opportunities that will never knock again. The boy had chances in front of him, chances to learn, chances to build, chances to grow. But because he was blind to the value of time, those chances evaporated. He looked around and saw that the people who valued their minutes were now miles ahead of him. They had built skills, they had built relationships, they had built lives, and he was still standing with nothing but the ashes of wasted days in his hands. That is the cruelty of time. It punishes the lazy and rewards the disciplined. It gives no sympathy. It gives no second chances. It simply reveals the outcome of your choices. What he failed to understand is that time is life itself. When you waste an hour, you are not just wasting 60 minutes, you are wasting 60 minutes of your life that you will never get back. Every delay, every excuse, every "I'll do it later" is you throwing away your own existence piece by piece. The boy thought he was safe, that tomorrow would be his fresh start, but tomorrow never comes. It only disguises itself as today, and if you don't act now, you will never act. His laziness didn't just rob him of progress, it robbed him of purpose, because a life without urgency, without value for time, is a life without meaning. And then came the regret, that painful regret that screams louder than failure. Failure at least teaches you something, but regret teaches you nothing except the fact that you wasted what you can never recover. The boy carried that weight on his shoulders, wishing he could buy back his wasted youth. But the truth is, time cannot be bought. You can be the richest person on earth and still not purchase 1 second more than what life has written for you. The boy discovered this too late, but you listening to me right now, you still have a choice. You still have time, but only if you stop treating it like it is free. Because every tick of the clock is a reminder that you are closer to the end, closer to the moment when you will wish you had used your days better, closer to the point where regret becomes your only companion